Pregame.com.
Sunday baseball, the New York Yankees at the Detroit Tigers. Justin Verlander will be on the mound. Scott, what do you think about this one? This is your pick, and I'll try to bust you up a little bit because I think we're on the other side here.
Kind of. I'm looking at a run line here, and you're looking at, I believe, a money line here.
Yeah.
But and we'll get into that. But here's the thing. There's only two teams that have gotten to Verlander this season. One of those is the New York Yankees. And if you look at his 11 starts against New York, he's got a whip of about $1.50. So he does struggle against a lot of the guys he's going to see again on Sunday afternoon. I like what Hughes did for 3 or 4 starts. He brought his ERA down from a 7.48 to a 4.94 with 4 straight quality starts. Then he got lit up by the Halos. His last time out just didn't have it. But his overall numbers, they're not too hot against Detroit. But at Comerica, this guy might want to sign a deal while he's there and stay there. He's got 3 starts at Comerica, 19 innings pitched, over 6 a game, and he's allowed just 5 earned runs and 15 base runners in 20 innings, 19 Ks. That's the Phil Hughes the Yankees were hoping for when they went and got him a few years ago.
Well, I can't disagree with you that, Hughes was pitching well. He did get lit up bad in the last one, but Verlander got knocked around in his last start too. And you got to go back. That was 2 losses in a row for Verlander. You got to go back to last April to find him lose back-to-back games. And for him to lose 3 in a row, which is what he's going for on Sunday, you got to go back to 2008.
Well, here's why I'm thinking that it's more than just Verlander struggling for a couple of games. He's got a bleeding callus on his right throwing thumb, and it's affected him. It has to have. The way he's pitched that last outing especially. He said that if it bothers him, he's just going to throw more changeups and breaking pitches, more junk. But that's not Verlander. He's got great junk, but he needs that fastball and hard slider to be biting also. And the bottom line is he couldn't do it last time out. They're still saying as of Wednesday night, we're taping this on Thursday, as of Wednesday night, Thursday morning, that he's still having a hard time. When he's throwing, it's still opening up. And if he does that against a Yankee lineup that's averaging over 6 runs per game in road day games against righties, then he's probably only going to last 4 or 5 innings again, not because his talent is dropping, but because he's got this callus that keeps bleeding.
Well, it's a good point with the callus there, and it's why I'm not going to actually get involved in this game. I don't want to buck Verlander here because I think he's going to come back with a good game. And one of the things that concerns me, and I'm going to throw this to you in taking the Yankees, this is the final game of a 9-game road trip for the Yankees. It's a day game following a night game. And one thing that I want to do is, what we try to do in these videos is not only give people picks, but educate.
Sure.
Managers have different philosophies. Sometimes they're going to give players days off. And most managers are more likely to give a key player a day off when it's a day game following a night game. And if it's on the end of a road trip. And if you're going against the other team's ace.
Sure.
So you might not get your best Yankee lineup. Now, if Verlander's not 100%, then that's a, it's
and
a
if
whole
Girardi
different...
smells blood, so to speak, with the bleeding callus, I think he just comes in there and says, we're going to try to win this game. You also got to look at, I break it down to the bullpens. If Verlander is a little bit banged up and he only goes, even if he goes 6 decent innings, the bottom line is you're talking about one of the worst bullpens in Major League Baseball with Detroit. Jose Valverde, everybody's going crazy about this guy. If you saw the playoffs last year, 2 of his last 6 relief appearances on the playoffs, he got beat up, including his last one against the Rangers, and he's been far from what they were hoping for this year. Valverde, I know he pitched well against the Twins, but it was the Twins. But he's not done well this year. They're not a bad hitting team. They're 7th or 8th in the majors as we speak, but the starting rotation and the bullpen, not anywhere near what they were hoping for. And again, here's my caveat. I'm releasing the Yankees plus a run and a half. And because they're averaging those 6 runs a game, if Verlander does pitch well, I still don't think he's going to go a full 9 or even 8, even if he's pitching well. And then we get to that bullpen with a team that's hitting the ball the way they do. I'll take that run line and I'll lay up to about $1.35. I think it's going to come plus 1.5 minus $1.25, but I'll lay an extra 10 cents if I have to.
On a sidebar with Detroit, with the starting rotation and the bullpen not living up to expectations, how much of that are you putting on the pitchers themselves, or do you attribute some of it to Detroit gave up a lot defensively to go with the lineup that they have, signing Prince Fielder, you wanted the bats, and to get all of the bats that they have in the lineup, they gave up some defense, I feel.
Oh, definitely. And they thought that the rotation was going to be a little bit better. It's 21st, I think, in the league as of Thursday. But the bullpen, again, if you look at the early relievers, the long relievers, so to speak, they're not that bad. They're not getting shelled. but it comes down to the closer and the setup man, especially Valverde, and it's just not getting done. And look at teams like the Angels. One player can make a difference to that bullpen. One player for the Angels we talked about yesterday not hitting the baseball, Pujols in the third slot, made a huge, if he's in the eighth slot, who cares? He's in the third slot and he's killing them. And that's what Valverde's doing right now. Again, pitched well against the Twins for 3 games, but I'm not willing to give him a pass yet until he pitches well against somebody else.
All right, well, you got it. Scott's going to go with the Yankees. He's taking them plus 1.5 runs. What are you looking for a line you want there with that?
Plus 1.5, and I'll lay up to minus $1.35, but I think it's going to come plus 1.5, minus $1.20-ish, 25. And if you can get it early, it might come $1.35. That's about as high as I'd go.
All right, well, there you have it. Scott's play, take the Yankees plus 1.5 runs. I've got a slight lean to Detroit, but I'm going to stay on the fence with this one because of the injury to Verlander. We'll see how he responds on Sunday. That's it for pregame.tv this week. We'll be back next week previewing basketball and baseball all next week. Stay tuned at pregame.tv.